So I'm James Gibson. I'm the Quality Assurance Lead at the Edinburgh Clinical Research Facility, and I'm also the chair of the Quality Assurance Work Group within the UK CRF Network. So the session we've just done was around inspection preparation, and also a little bit about lessons learnt from regulatory inspections, because within the Quality Assurance Work Group we have quite a few members who have quite a lot of experience now of undergoing GCP inspections from regulators like the MHRA, but also other regulators. So it was a chance to share some of that learning and experience, and hopefully maybe demystify and take away some of the fear around regulatory inspections. I think there's been generally a bit of a fear around regulatory inspections, completely understandably. Nobody really likes their work being scrutinised by someone like a regulator. So I think there's just a feeling of a need to kind of demystify that a little bit and just share some of that experience and just help people feel a little bit more prepared, a little bit more comfortable with the idea of an inspection should they be chosen for an inspection. During my time working in the CRF, I've been through a number of inspections from the MHRA, and I think over that time I have become comfortable with the idea of an inspection, almost to the point where I would say I would almost welcome an inspection, because it's an oversight of our work by people who are very, very experienced, good at what they do, and they can share their expertise and help us to improve our systems, and really they want the same things that we want. Yeah, so I think it was about that experience sharing so that if someone is selected for an inspection, they have a better idea of what they can expect and maybe are able to prepare for that a little bit better and approach that with a more comfortable mindset. I think they should expect an inspection to be challenging, stressful at times, a lot of work at times, but also I think they should come out of it feeling that they've had some really good advice, and that they'll be able to go away and improve their systems, making their processes safer for their participants and making sure that they're generating good quality clinical trial data, which is what we all want. I think top tips for dealing with an MHRA inspection are, first of all, preparation. Make sure you know your systems are in good order before the inspectors come. I think secondly would be communication, open lines of dialogue with the inspectors. They are very human. They are very understanding and pragmatic despite their reputation. They will work with you if you speak to them, and they'll help you come to solutions about how you can deliver what they're asking for. So that communication is absolutely key. I think the third thing would be honesty and transparency. Be absolutely clear with them, be transparent with them. They're not going to haul you over the coals. They want to understand how your systems work. They want to understand how you've conducted your trials, and they want to help you to improve your systems and processes. So I think that's to be welcomed. So be open, be transparent. I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed from this year's conference is just seeing a different perspective on a few different issues that we wouldn't normally necessarily think about in CRFs. We had a great talk yesterday about surgical trials, which was really, really interesting, applying some of those research and GCP principles in a different kind of setting, and things about tissue engineering and cell therapies. So just interesting to see that broadening of the portfolio of works that CRFs can support. So my role is in quality assurance, and I think there's no getting away from the fact that we work in a very regulated environment. And going back to the topic of inspections, the regulators expect us to have certain things in place. They expect everything to be documented. It goes back to that old maxim, if it isn't documented, it didn't happen. So there's no getting away from that. What I do slightly fear a little bit is that we can be so process-driven that sometimes we can miss the bigger picture. We're so focused on ticking that box that maybe we miss something more important. So my message to the staff is, yes, compliance is important, but it's not why we do research. We don't do research to comply. We do research to develop better medicines and treatments for our patients. So the key thing is that we're keeping our participants safe, and we're generating not perfect data, but data that is of sufficient quality to support good decision making. I think probably the key thing for me is how much I learn from colleagues across the UK, because we all do things differently, and just hearing from a different colleague of this is how they solve a problem, or this is how they approach something, and I'm always coming away with learning. For any time we meet as a QA group, I'm learning something about how I can put that into my systems and processes to improve what we do. And I think it's that whole idea of the whole being greater than the sum of the parts. There's a real added value to that networking and sharing of experience.